Hi, everybody. It's Ann Anderson with Edina Realty, and I'm lucky enough to have Erin Moffitt with me today. He's with U.S. Bank. And Erin, I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell everybody, what you do.
Yes, thanks, Ann. Like Ann said, my name's Erin Moffitt. I've been actually going on my 20th year here with U.S. Bank, and actually grew up in Stillwater and now live in Matamidi with my wife and three kids. So
Yay!
thank you.
Yes, and we've worked on many transactions together. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to have your input. And so today, I just love to have your input on what's going on in the market from your perspective as a lender, loan originator, and talk about where rates are going, what it looks like now, what it looks like in 2021, and we can just talk about well, I'd also like to touch on forbearance and foreclosure because I know I get a lot of questions about whether we're going to have a lot of foreclosures coming onto the market. And so let's just start with rates. I mean, what are they looking at like right now?
Yeah, so this 2020, we've seen all-time lows in terms of rates, and a lot of that is due to the pandemic that we're dealing with. And so it's been a really good year for people to get a refinance and get into a lower rate and lower payment situation, but also for the people that are looking to make a move. Just rates with it being at the all-time lows that they're at now, it's really been a good situation for people to take advantage of, especially even people working from home more and with their kids being at home. A lot of people are feeling pinched, and
Yes.
and so we've seen a lot of people actually moving up into a little bit higher price range to get more
Hmm.
space. With
Yeah.
everyone being in the house and feeling that way, we've seen a lot of people take advantage of that.
As they should, in fact. And the thing that I really love to talk about is, what that looks like. Because a lot of people think, I'd love to have more space. We're all at home now. I need office space. I want to have my gym. I want to have, more yard space for the kids to play in. But they're are afraid of the price of homes. But what I'd love to have you kind of describe is, what it looks like price, but payment too. So payment
Hmm.
often lets people know, hey, I can really afford a 800 or $1 million home. I thought that payment would be, more than I can take on, but people are finding that it's really palatable.
Yeah, it really is surprising when you look at, because I mean the average rate, although a lot of people have refinanced this year, there's still a lot of people that are sitting at 4% or
Yes.
3.75 with their house. And so
Hmm.
when you compare going from, for example, a $500,000 house to an $800,000 house, the payment difference is actually only $600 a month, and that just has to do with where rates are at right now. So, when you see a higher price home and you kind of have that sticker shock, like I could never afford an $800,000 house. When you look at what the payment is with where rates are at, it's
Hmm.
really not that much of a difference compared to what people are used to paying right now.
Right. Well, and the other thing is people have more equity, so their down payment. So when they sell this house, they have a lot of equity to put, down on the next house. So their down payment could be more than they think it is.
Yep.
So it's definitely something worth checking out, I would say, right?
With a vaccine on the horizon and people potentially going back into the office, that could change. But I think we all sense that there will be some long lasting impacts due to the pandemic,
Hmm.
in terms of how many people will continue working from home, kids
Right.
going back to school, or will we be doing, continuing to do the distance learning. And a lot of that's going to be dependent on how effective the vaccine is, and how
Hmm.
long that whole process is going to take. And so I do feel that if it is effective, we could see a pretty dramatic change in interest rates in 2021.
Yeah.
The Fed's goal is to keep rates low through the next year.
Hmm.
But the one thing that I think will really be a catalyst for that is going to be the vaccine. And so that's why really now is a key time for people to decide if it is something that they're looking to do, because we know rates right now are at their all-time lows, but we don't know for sure if
Where
that
they're
will
going.
continue. Yeah.
Right. And the thing is too that rates as this health crisis gets resolved, hopefully through this vaccine, rates are going to tick up a little bit, but so are home prices. They're not going down. We are not going to. They're going to continue to increase, and the projection NAR had a projection of like 4.5% increase in 2021, and that's nationwide. But I think that's very close to what we can expect to see here in our area. So with possible increasing rates and home prices, I mean, why wait is the message. And we're really not trying to say that to sound like salesmen, but really if there's consumers out there that are just kind of sitting on the fence waiting to see what happens, I think that the message is now's the time.
Yeah, and that's, another impact with so many people having refinanced their mortgage right now. These Everyone is sitting at a really good rate. And so if we do see an interest rate increase, it's actually going to be harder for people to justify moving when they know
Yeah.
what rate they have compared to what they would be going to.
Right,
So,
exactly. And the whole notion that we could see a big wave of foreclosures, we don't see that. I mean, from my perspective, what we see is, yeah, there's COVID winners and losers. There's people that are really suffering right now, and they've had to go into forbearance with their properties. But what I do know, and you can speak to this too, Erin, is that servicers do not want those mortgages back. They don't want to be dealing with foreclosures. They want to keep people in their homes as much as possible. We're not going to see what we saw last time. And the other piece of it is people have more equity in their homes than they had when we had the housing crisis last time. So if they are in a position where they do need to sell, they'll be feeding a market that's starved for housing
mhm.
and will most likely be able to walk away with some cash in their pocket or at least break even, if nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, you're starting to hear that as a topic coming up, and people are wondering, is there going to be another wave of foreclosures? And this time around, it's just so much different because, like you said, people have so much more equity now than last time around when we had that. And the servicers really want to avoid that as well. They're allowing people to miss 3 months of payments or 6 months of payments
Hmm.
because they really want them to be able to stay into their house and keep making those payments, whether it's extending the loan out a few months or whatever it is. I really don't see this big wave of foreclosures coming down the road in 2021.
No, we don't either from our perspective. So all in all, I mean, the housing industry is really kind of a strong suit in this whole health crisis that we all find ourselves in, and it's really a good time for people to take advantage of what's happening with mortgage rates. And again, I just want to reiterate that inventory has never been lower. I was reading some stats, and we're 30% lower in terms of inventory than we were last time at this time. So buyers are out there. In the last week, I was in multiple offers 5 times. I mean, every transaction that I've been in the last week has been multiple offers. So it's a great time to be listing your house and moving on and taking advantage of rates and getting into the house that you would like to see yourself in and that supports your lifestyle, your new lifestyle.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's not even that's been every price range too, where you're seeing multiple
Right.
offers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, good point. We've been in multiples in the upper brackets too. For a while there, the upper bracket and luxury market was kind of stagnant. It's not anymore. There's a
yeah,
lot of movement. And I'm
yeah.
sure you see that too, right?
I do. Yeah, it's really. I'm seeing the same thing that you're talking about. Is for a long time it was just that kind of lower end price range, and now it's all across the board. People have really made the decision that if they're going to do it, now is a good time to do it. And for a long time, it was harder to sell those upper price range, and now they seem to be selling. So
They're in demand. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. So, Aaron, one last thing. Let's kind of touch back on the forbearance topic. So, what can people do if they find themselves in forbearance? What's kind of the roadmap for getting out of it, or what?
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do is contact your loan servicer. So wherever you're paying your mortgage to, you want to contact them, and they will examine your situation. And obviously, there's a lot of people just really going through a tough time right now with
Mhm.
everything that we're dealing with, and so it's a good idea to get in touch with your loan servicer. They'll walk you through the steps. I've seen people that have been allowed to miss three payments or six payments. I mean, even seen 9 months of payments. So it really just depends on what type of a business you're in or what type of a field you're in and how that's been impacted with the pandemic.
Mhm.
And so it really is the key is just getting in touch with your loan servicer and they'll work with you to get that taken care of. So,
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. And so if I would just encourage anybody who's listening, if you'd like, you send out some information specific to your situation, whether it's, forbearance, whether it's getting qualified for a new loan to make a move, or looking for a house, or starting your search, or just having a personal consultation, I would encourage you to get in touch with me and or Aaron, and we can kind of help you create that path.
yep, we'll do a Zoom call, we'll do a phone call, we'll
Mm-hmm.
meet at a coffee shop wherever you want to meet us. So we're happy to do that.
Right. Okay, good. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for your insights. And
Thank you
I'm
so
sure
much for
I'll
thank you
be
so
talking
much
to you
for
soon.
having me.
Yeah, it was fun. Good to see you in
All
person.
right, you too. All right,
Okay.
bye
Take care.
bye.
Bye.